In the comments section of Touhou Where to Start, sometimes I get asked, why didn't I talk about Touhou 1? I mean, it's the first Touhou game. Wouldn't you always want to start with the first game in the series? I do admit, I probably should have talked about Touhou 1, but there are reasons I don't usually recommend this game to newcomers. Touhou 2 to Touhou 20, excluding the decimal spin-offs, are all shmups where you experience a story and dodge a ton of bullets. Touhou 1 is a breakout game with bullet dodging. Yeah! This type of game doesn't come back later in the series, so gameplay-wise, you don't really miss out on the evolution of the formula. But, do you miss out on anything story-wise? No. This game doesn't have any story until the ending, and at this point, Touhou doesn't really have an overarching plot. It's a strange game that doesn't seem to have that much of a legacy. A lot of Touhou fans have seen Touhou 1 gameplay, but I don't think that many have actually played it. Touhou 1 is novel in its concept. You're playing Breakout, except instead of having a paddle, you're a person. As Reimu, you can shoot, swipe, kick, use bombs, and do other special moves. You do this while hitting a yin-yang orb as it bounces around the screen, trying to flip all the panels, or trying to get rid of all the HP from bosses. All of Reimu's actions aside from kicking destroy bullets, which you'll find spawning in later stages. The yin-yang orb can also destroy bullets, so you can use it as a defensive shield. Reimu has 1 health. If a bullet hits you, you die. But perhaps more amusingly and frustratingly, if your yin-yang orb hits you, you also die. When you can control the ball with your shots and kicks, it can be pretty satisfying. My favorite part is actually slide kicking into the ball to prop it up from the ground. That's a lot of fun. The issue is that when you start combining this with things like more bullets on screen and different stage gimmicks, it can get overwhelming. Some people do like this game, but for me, I just end up getting frustrated. I'll slide into bullets maybe, or get hit by a speeding orb. This is one of my favorite clips. Aiming the ball, especially when you have only 1 panel left, can also be frustrating. Trying to gauge how to aim with slide kicks, shots, and other moves while dodging bullets, and the ball itself, it's a lot. You can use bombs to clear panels, but you'll probably want to save those for boss fights since they clear bullets. Boss fights are probably the make or break point for if you'll like this game. Some people love the puzzle of trying to hit the ball at the boss while they weave through the bullets. But, especially without a visible hitbox, these are really hard for an average player, and where many Touhou fans give up. Touhou 1 does have its fans. I might not like the game, but some others do. But, Touhou 1 doesn't play like any other game in the series, so whether you like it or not doesn't really speak of how you might feel about other Touhou games. And it doesn't really have any story elements that appear later, outside of introducing 2 characters who get better introductions later. That's why I generally don't recommend it to newcomers. But, outside of seeing if you like the gameplay, there are some reasons to check out Touhou 1. Probably the biggest reason, Touhou always has good music, and unlike the other classic Touhou games, Touhou 1's specific version of its soundtrack is not on CD. The CD version of Touhou 1's music is a remaster. So if you play Touhou 1, you can experience some classic Touhou tunes you might not have heard before. Some of the character designs in this game are neat. I like Ellis. She only appears in this game, and although I don't like fighting her, I do think her powers and general look is neat. There's a bit of first game charm with this one too. I like the default text for level names, and the misspelled "hurry up" when the time limit approaches. This game does get referenced a tiny bit in later Touhou games, and that's in the ground action spin-offs. In the ground fighters, Reimu has her slide kick, and a spinny special move that she can also use in Touhou 1. What I think is especially cool is that the sliding ascension kick move replicates how the attack works verbatim in Touhou 1. That's a neat reference. Later on in Touhou 17.5, Reimu gets her slide kick from Touhou 1 as a move. And lastly, Touhou 1 gets referenced in fanworks sometimes. Heck, I even made a Touhou 1 style game as one of my first Touhou fan games. So, if you want to be more in the know for Touhou fan content, there you go. But yeah, that's Touhou 1. It's a divisive game that I don't think newcomers should start with. But if you want to play it, then by all means, go ahead. It's an acquired taste, so maybe you'll like it more than I do.